live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Brought to you by Pay Up. Booze, balls, and bad decisions.
Good-hearted, just let us love, let us do what we want to do. We're just gaying, bro.
Booze, balls, bad decisions.
3 for 3, boys.
What is happening, fellas?
What's
Good
up?
job, Chatty.
I know. Every week I'm going to remember to say that because I don't put it on loop and sound like an idiot.
It's all right. It's good work. It's good work. Solid work.
We are a learning podcast. I love it.
We are a gaggle of idiots is what I like to affectionately call us. Well, welcomes to Booze, Balls, and Bad Decisions. AJ, Benny, how are y'all today?
Doing good, man. It's a good show tonight. Good show. We're going to talk about it here in a little bit, but we got Kyle coming on, Texas Longhorn super fan. So it's going to be fun to get him on and talk some sports with him. So
you guys know he's a competitive exerciser too, right?
Oh,
So
wonderful. We'll get into that.
That's strike 2, bro.
Pretty
strike
stoked to
1
have
is
that
being
in.
a shorthorn. Strike
I'll
2.
I'll add that to the list. So Chatty, thank you for asking, dude. I'm great, man. We are, I don't know if you guys felt it. You may have felt it. We are officially out of the summer sports dead zone.
Oh,
Camp has started.
Camp has started.
We have so much football news that we should be talking about tonight, but we're going to save it for next week because we're weekly. There's so much to talk about because the dead zone is done, and I'm so happy.
I'm so happy. We
Football.
watched NFL Network Welcome Back weekend all weekend long. My boys were like, "We've already seen this highlight." I'm like, "I don't care. It's
Shut
football.
up, stupid, and watch it.
Just
Love it.
shut up and watch it."
Holding their eyes open.
So you heard Tony say right there, AJ say that we are going weekly. So starting next week, we're Wednesdays 9 p.m. every Wednesday 9 p.m. We'll be here every week. So I'm pretty jazzed up about that. You guys get to see us every week, so I'm pretty excited.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it'll be good. Wednesday nights, we talked about it's just the best nights for us. We'll get recap college and NFL the week before. We've got some fun stuff coming up. Going to do some gambling picks for you, some uniform vibe checks. We'll talk about that here in the coming weeks. But got some of that stuff going on, so it's going to be fun starting Wednesdays next week.
And Tony, since we're really bad at this at the very end of the show, tell everybody where to follow us.
Let's see. We are on all the socials. We are at Booze and Balls on Twitter. We are at Booze and Balls on YouTube. Find us on Facebook, Booze, Balls, and Bad Decisions. We stream live every Monday there. You can also find us on Apple and Spotify tomorrow to get tonight's podcast.
All right, Benny. You want to intro Kyle or you want me to intro Kyle?
Let's do it. I want to bring it on.
Can I talk about Listener League real quick?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
for sure. We're trying to get Kyle to do this, but he says he's too busy. I don't know.
Too busy. So we introduced it last week, something I'm super excited about. We're having a fantasy football league for our listeners. We've got a couple applications in. We've filled a couple spots. We've got a friend of the podcast, Q, is going to join us. Can't wait to have him on the show.
We gotta have Q on here sometime too.
Yeah, we need Q on
sure.
soon.
We need to get him on here.
We've got somebody. We got a gentleman that we have all played fantasy football with in the past. He sent in a great inside baseball application to us, so we've sent the invite to him. We had a gentleman write us a poem. He wrote us a damn poem for his entry. He was a shoe-in.
Graphics design. We got some stuff.
Yeah, he made us a little cartoon. It was awesome.
Okay, do you want me to send the last one up here?
Let's put that on screen.
Okay.
So we got this application that we have yet to decision. It's from Baby Got Dak. So this guy clearly got his team name from 2019. Was that cool in 2019, 2018?
Rookie year, yeah.
Baby Got Dak. So he's saying that he will bring the noise. Very, very clever. If you want competition in your league, you need the best. Plain and simple, I am the best. Certainly not the most clever application, but we have yet
we'll
to
see.
Decision. Baby Got Dak. I mean, on shitty team name alone, I'm out. But we can figure it out.
May need to ask some follow-up questions there.
Yeah.
A little interview. Get him on pod for an interview, Benny.
Yeah.
All right, Benny.
All right, good stuff. housekeeping items out of the way. I've been looking forward for this for a long time. So we're going to bring him on. Kyle Umlang, for those of you guys that don't know, Texas Superfan, co-host Statistics Pod, Lone Star Pod Show, has a book out on Amazon right now. I believe it's volume 3.
Three books.
So the newest is volume 3. Aggie Facts. This guy's a great follow on Twitter. We'll talk about his ats in a moment, but college football firing up. There's not a better guy we could bring on.
Woo, that was just for you, Kyle. Thank you for coming on.
Okay.
With that, man.
I haven't
Kyle,
heard that
welcome.
song in 2 years, man.
What?
I haven't heard that song in over 2 years.
That's not true.
You play that when y'all score, don't you?
No, that was for you. That was your
No,
fight song.
I thought you played that.
That was
that was
Texas
my fight
Delight.
song. Oh, I thought y'all were trying to pull my leg or something.
I would have
lasted
logged off
10
if they played
seconds.
Boomer sooner.
And also, you didn't tell me that people are writing you poems and offering all these cool things to be in this.
Absolutely.
We're very
I'll be in it now. If that's
He's
what
in.
it takes.
He's
yeah,
in.
I'm in.
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right.
That's what
Yes.
I'm talking about.
I didn't know it was so
Yeah.
selective. I just
It
knew
is.
it was a
Thank
great
you.
opportunity.
It is
Okay.
Kyle,
very
we may only have 4 listeners, but we're kind of a big deal. Okay. Yeah,
Right.
you're in.
6
You're
on
in.
good days.
Well, Kyle, man, we appreciate you jumping on. I know, I know how valuable your time is, but man, we are going to enjoy having you for sure. But a couple things on the big board.
Sure.
I always have a message on the big board, straight from the boss. Burnt orange makes me puke. And then this shirt, circa the Red River rivalry, about 2007. So that's what
Not
you're in
bad.
for. That's what
Not
you're
bad.
coming on board for. Let's do it.
I've heard it all, so that's fine with me. Let's do it.
I've got a OU Texas, just a question real quickly before Benny takes this thing over, because I know that you and Benny are about to riff, and AJ and I are going to sit here and watch because that's what normally happens. So the last 2 years, first off, we're going to call it Red River Shootout. I can't stand rivalry or showdown or whatever the hell they call it now. Shootout's the only correct term. The last 2 years, we've had 2 wild swings of emotion, right? We had 2021 with maybe the greatest comeback in
Superman.
shootout history. And last year, just the beat down in Dallas. That was just terrible. So this question's for everybody, but we're going to start with Kyle. Which one would you rather have? Which way would you rather have your team win? The improbable comeback or the beatdown?
If it's any team but OU, improbable comeback is always fun. But it's Oklahoma. Beat the snot out of them anytime. I'm very, very upset that with all that time left, we didn't score one more time because I seriously had Sooners in my mentions a minute after the game saying, well, we've still beaten you by more. 102 years ago. I'm like,
Classic.
God damn it. I was like, seriously, we couldn't have got that? Come on. So, yeah.
Okay.
No, I will say this. I was at the Caleb Williams game.
Yep.
I was there. Fantastic game. Had an opportunity to go last year, but also had Morgan Wallen tickets the same night, and it was in Arlington, and I knew it was going to be a rush to get there. So I watched the
You made a
first
good
half
decision.
at the hotel.
You made
bar,
the right
and,
call, man.
Wow. All right, so Kyle, give us a little bit of a background on you. So how did you become this Aggie fact guru, man? That's what we're all wondering.
I love college football. I've always watched college football. I'm kind of right in y'all's age range. So
That's generous. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
I wasn't talking about you.
No.
The other two. So I've always just liked it. I've always loved it. I used to have this group thread with me, my brother, and his friend. We would just talk college football basically all off season. And then finally, like, I think they got sick of me texting all the time, so that they stopped answering. So I was like, and then I was in this grad class for information visualization, and they said, oh, you should post stuff on Twitter because there's a pretty good you'll get great engagement on Twitter. So I started posting Texas facts, just Texas football stuff, and I was introduced to what people are known as Twitter trolls. I had no idea. I was like, why are these people? I'm talking about Texas. Why are they bringing up A&M and Oklahoma? I'm like, what is this? And so then I realized, oh, I'm supposed to like engage with these people, and so I started like. People used to call it like all sorts of names, like meat slap and Kyle bomb and all sorts of weird things. And so my thing used to be just quote tweeting idiots with bad takes and providing like the real answers. And so that's
the best.
It snowballed into this thing. So now like I used to have to like go out and find it to like make a name for myself. But now people just like send me stuff or tag me and stuff saying, "Hey, can you set this bozo straight? Set this clown straight for me." And usually I don't. But if it's like an easy alley-oop one, I'll do it. But
That's awesome.
like you said, I'm pretty busy. So now I
Kyle,
just save it for the good ones.
You've written 3 books, right?
Yes.
3 books. And those are 101 Aggie
facts.
Every Longhorn should know, right?
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah. And
That's outstanding.
how that happened was this one Aggie, I'm sure everyone knows him. Rude Dog is his name.
Oh yeah.
He was messing with Blinken Riley one day, just wouldn't stop, and so Blinken was like, "Okay, fine, let's do an Aggie Fact Thursday." And I saw that, and I was like, "Me, I want to help." And so I had tons of them, so I was just doing them, and it was a lot of fun. And then I never stopped doing them every Thursday since then.
So you do it every Thursday?
Every Thursday,
without fail.
There was one time it got to like 10 p.m. and I forgot, but I had one ready. But yeah, I have to do it every Thursday. It's a goal of mine to just do it forever.
I like it.
So what's your favorite Aggie fact as a Longhorn fan?
A favorite?
Your favorite? Give me the Taj Mahal Hall of Fame fact that you love to pull out.
Give me 1 second. I have like a few, but I'll get to those in a second.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So we're us 3, you know, Chad, Tony, and myself.
Yeah.
We are Dallas Cowboy super fans. And I would say Chad and I are probably pretty close to being OU super fans. But so how did you become a Texas super fan? And like, you know, you went to Texas, you obviously went to school there, went to a ton of games there, but like, can you point back to like I remember games, you know, from the John Blake era. I remember going to an OU game for $8, just driving up, jumping in, and sitting wherever you wanted. So, I mean, I have really early memories. So, what's some of your earliest memories as a Longhorn fan in some of those games?
So, I went 04 to 08, the golden years. But before that in high school, I didn't really care exactly where I went because, like in Texas, it's like if you're in a certain percentage of your class, you can go to any of them. So I was like, well, Texas is obviously automatically in the top 3. My dad went to A&M, so he was like, you got to go at least look at the campus. I was like, I don't really want to. He's like, come on, do it for me. And I was like, okay, fine. So I went and toured the campus. I didn't go to like orientation or anything. I just went and toured the campus, and I wasn't allowed to like.
How's Thanksgiving dinner with Pops, who's an Aggie with a son that's written Aggie fact books? Talk about that. How's that happen?
But he loves it. He thinks it's hilarious. He shows his buddies. He when a new one comes out, he asks me to send him one, and
that's cool. And, all right.
And then he'll start looking through it, and he's like, I can't finish this tonight. I'm too upset. So yeah, I've always been. I've always had Aggies in my family. Half my family's Aggies, half are Longhorns. So it was basically down to those 2 schools, and just Austin, night and day difference. You know, College Station is like a souped up Norman. There's nothing to do there.
That's being generous. Somebody that lived in Norman.
To do there.
That's being pretty generous.
Fewer trailer parks though.
Yeah, a little fewer. But you go to Austin, and you're like, there's no way I'm going. There's no way I'm going anywhere else but Texas. So, I saw the campus, and that was it.
Right there by the Capitol. I mean, that's a beautiful campus for sure.
Dude, can you imagine? I mean, it had to be so much fun being a college kid on 6th Street, though.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Oh, man.
Dude, in Norman, there's just not a lot to do as a college kid. There wasn't when I was there.
There's not like a little row of bars or anything for college students.
A little bitty, campus corner up there, a little bit,
corner,
but nothing like 6th Street.
No, it's not like 6th Street in Austin. Absolutely,
not even close. Not even close.
Yeah.
So 04 is kind of when you took off on this.
Yeah, in high school, early aughts, I was like looking into. I started watching football, and I just really liked Texas. And when I saw the campus, it was done. Yeah. And so been Longhorn since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So recruitment in 04. So you'll remember this, right? So why and how in the world did Texas miss out on Adrian Peterson?
AD, I have no idea. No idea.
Really?
No idea.
That's a big deal. I mean, he grew up Texas
we missed out
fan.
on. That's how you always hear these stories. All these awesome players is like, I wanted to go to Texas, man, but it didn't work out. And then you're like looking at Texas, like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. Someone made a bad call. It's like when they told Johnny Football that he can only come to Texas if he plays safety. So he went to A&M and is a legend now. So yeah. There's so many stories. So many stories like that. Do
you know the story about why Adrian Peterson didn't choose Texas? Okay, so I figured you knew this, but I'm going to tell you. It hadn't been out very long, actually. So Adrian Peterson goes to Texas, meets with Mac Brown, and tells Mac Brown, I am good enough to come and start on this team. And Mac Brown says, you probably are, but Cedric Benson is going into his senior year, and he is healthy, and he is the guy. He's the man. And so AD said, fine, that's great. Obviously, Texas is my first choice. Meets with the Sooners, asks Bob Stoops. Stoops tells him the same thing. He says, you'll be able to have a chance to compete, but I've seen your tape, and I guarantee you are the day one starter. And for a true freshman, you think about that in 2004. That was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Yeah, especially for
Adrian
OU and Texas, how their programs were in the early 2000s. To say that's
yeah. And he's, Peterson had made it very clear he was staying in the Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana area because his dad was incarcerated and he could get the games in that market. Texas has fumbled many, many, many recruits over the years, but that one, and like you said, the Manziel, you're a safety, and Johnny Manziel's a trash quarterback. He was back then. He was just ahead of his game. Nobody could figure him out quite what he was doing. So, but yeah, I'm not a Manziel fan at all. So,
good call.
Yeah. So who's your favorite Texas player?
Probably Vince Young. That's if you watched any time in the 2000s, you're going to say Vince Young.
He was such a damn cheat code, man. That guy, it looked like he could just waltz to the sideline and get 9 damn yards every time.
Yeah, with his gazelle legs. Yeah.
He made it look effortless, man. It was crazy.
It was really hard to get used to not having him when no matter what game you're watching, I was like, it's okay. It's okay. So there's still time on the board. Vince will do it. And then you go into just so much crap after that. You're like, man, we had it so good.
Who followed him up? Who was QB after him?
Colt
McCoy, yeah. And if Colt McCoy doesn't get hurt in the national championship game, Texas probably wins that game.
No, for sure.
And if Gideon didn't drop that wide open interception against Tech, the throw before Crabtree throw.
Yep, the throw before. Exactly.
Y'all wouldn't have got your asses handed to you by Florida, man.
That was a good game. That wasn't that good. That was a third
it wasn't good for me. I was sitting at a little bar just watching. I was like, just angry the whole time. That could have been us.
So I'm gonna go back to this USC game. So the USC Texas national championship. I would argue that's the best college football game that I've seen in my lifetime. People talk about the game. In the 70s Nebraska's OU games. Some of those 85 games.
Yeah.
Miami in the early 2000s. They just destroyed. But as far as overall college football content, that was my favorite game. And as a Sooner fan, it's also probably the worst game I've ever watched because you're coming off getting your brains kicked in by USC the year before. And then now Texas is playing USC. So we hate Texas. We hate USC. It was literally one of those games where, when Lindell White got stuffed on third down, and I'm thinking,
you're like, that's it.
They can't punt the ball here. If they punt the ball, it's over. They punt the ball. Vince Young never bats an eye, just strolls out. And everyone in the stadium, everyone watching on TV knew exactly what was going to happen. Everyone knew.
Okay.
Chatty, just to catch you up,
sorry, I had to jump off. I had a kid crisis.
No, you're fine. We are reliving highlights of Gooner history. So we've covered we've covered the Gooner defeat by SC, and then the Gooners watching Texas the next year.
By the way, this was supposed to be 2023, getting ready for the SEC last season. We have not hit that yet, but I do want to say that is the one and only day that I was a Longhorn fan.
See, I couldn't do it. I mean, I just had to watch. I couldn't.
I jumped up.
I don't know if I could do that.
I did.
I can't.
I was.
You're a bigger man than me. Couldn't do it.
I hate USC. I'm longtime USC hater. So I jumped up and down like an idiot. So, all right, heading into 2023, I can't think of any great questions, but what is the ceiling for Texas this year? What are you expecting it? What, Ben?
This ceiling is 11-1 and going to the Big 12 championship. I don't think we'll be perfect 12-0, but I do think 11-1 is possible. Have you seen
what's your only loss?
Yeah.
A random Big 12 team on the road. It's just somewhere down the stretch. It'll be just a game we should have won. That happens all the time. So it'll at least happen once.
Are you confident in Quinn Ewers? The back half of the season, he was not great.
Yeah, well, he's a little injured. Still, I mean, before his injury, loved him. After injury, he had some struggle games. Every player plays better their sophomore season. And he's healthy. He's 100%. Shaved the mullet. He's all business.
Whoa, the mullet's gone?
It's gone.
He did.
He is ready. He wants a Heisman campaign.
How does Arch Manning figure into that?
That's what I was about to say. How short is his leash before we start hearing about it?
Arch will play some mop-up duty probably when we go up like 40-0 against Sooners. And just hand it off a couple times. But, Quinn's the man all season. Then he's gone to the NFL. First round pick. Then it's Arch time. So Arch will debut for us in the SEC.
So
hold on, wait. I got another question. I got a follow-up question on the quarterbacks.
Yep.
I think it's Malik Murphy.
Yes.
That dude.
He's a monster.
How is he not on the field?
I don't know. I could have sworn he would have come in last year at some point. Because
I was scared to death he was going to come in at some point during the season.
Because we had Hudson Card just like playing backup and not doing that well. So I was like, surely Malik will have an opportunity, but he didn't. I don't think he stepped on the field. But I would have preferred him last year as the backup.
So your ceiling's 11-1. That's where your goal is. I mean, and to be quite frank, I mean, OU's schedule is relatively easy this year. Ours should be 10-2, 11-1 as well. And I don't think we have the talent level that you guys have.
Who's your quarterback this year?
Ours is Dylan Gabriel. Well, who's not a bad? He was statistically better than Gabriel's last year, but he's not great.
I heard all offseason that the only reason y'all got your butts kicked was because Dylan Gabriel wasn't on the field. It would have been a whole different ball game.
We'd have lost.
That's all I heard.
It's a different game. It's a different game.
We'd have lost by
100%.
21. We'd have lost by 21.
That's right. It's a different game, but it's still a loss. I promise you.
There you go. That's what I wanted to hear. Okay.
But it is a different game. I mean, 100%. It's a different game.
Yeah.
So
you're telling me you're saying 11-1, and you go to Alabama.
Yeah, we're gonna blow the doors off of Bama.
You're gonna go.
They're done.
And win.
I have never hoped that Nick Saban listened to us more than right now.
Nick Saban's done.
This is going straight to TikTok tomorrow.
I mean, is that satire? I mean, is this satire or is this?
No, I said this months ago, but Texas will leave Tuscaloosa with a victory and with the they will win by the most points in Bryant-Denny Stadium history.
Okay, so we really like the game, especially
we love bold
to be fair, I think in the Saban era, I think the most they've ever lost at home was by 7 points. So if we just beat them by 8, we will. Everything that I said will be true.
I mean, we can look this up, but I think the line on that game is probably going to be somewhere around 7. I mean, I think Alabama's going to be favored by. I'm serious. I think it's probably going to be.
Of course they're going to be favored. They're going to be like top 5.
That's going to be a night game. Game day is probably going to be there. Yeah. And you are telling me that Texas is going to come in and not only win that game, but win it handily.
Win it convincingly.
I'm going to pause for just a second.
Handily, convincingly.
To the brilliance that is Kyle. The brilliance. He just said they're going to have the largest margin of victory in Bryant-Denny Stadium. That's what he said, right?
Under Saban is what he said.
But then he immediately prefaced it by saying they'd only been beat by 7. That's the largest margin of
You gotta
this is
carefully
a
say
penny.
what you mean. Otherwise, people will take it and run.
Yeah,
That is
So-
pure
that's
brilliance.
a
I don't care what
Benny,
anybody
that's a Benny
says.
type setup, and I love it.
That
Yeah.
was brilliant.
I mean, I'm like I said, I'm looking through the schedule here. I'm gonna say, I mean, I think 11-1 is drunk. I think you're drunk. I think you lose to Alabama on the road, and I don't even think that's probably a close game. Give me Bama in the points. You go to Baylor. That's going to be tough. It'll be hot. You do
Oh
get
yeah.
Kansas-
You're right. Waco does. I mean, Austin never gets as hot as Waco. You're right.
Well, then you got Kansas State coming to town. That's going to be a tough game. And then you go to TCU.
To
And then-
TCU is one that we can
and
probably
then at
drop,
Iowa
or
State.
at
State.
Iowa State.
That's back-to-back weeks. You go
right.
to TCU.
Right. One of
and
those
to
is
Iowa
one of
State.
my random losses. Like we can't. There's no way.
Yeah.
Playing at Ames is never fun.
It's never, because it's going to be freezing cold and the wind's going to be blowing 27 miles.
Right, and it'll probably be a
Everyone
night
knows.
game too. It's not
Of
going to be
course.
good. So it'll probably be Ames.
So again, 11-1 is what you think is your ceiling.
Yeah,
Sarkisian's
that's a
best
ceiling.
record- That's
You don't
a ceiling.
the floor. The floor.
What's the
Who
floor?
knows? 7-5.
What
What's the
happens
floor?
at 7
I think that's probably closer to what they're
Seven.
going to
because Steve Sarkisian's best record
Se-
ever is 9-4 as a head
Yeah,
coach.
Sarkisian is not special. He's not, guys. He's
He
a drunk.
has
and
an
he is not
offense.
special.
He has an offensive mind that is beyond his years.
But again,
and-
9-4 is his best season as a head coach.
Yeah, well,
He's done
He's
nothing.
had demons he's had to fight, but he has not had a team
Yeah, he's
this
a drunk.
loaded. He's never had a team this loaded before. So
So
Tell me
See
why
what he can
tell
do.
me why you think
The
that
question-
defense
hold
is
on.
loaded. Because you guys lost about 5 starters, I believe. One of them's Devin Duvernay. Devin Duvernay is going to start for the Cowboys. You think that's a big loss in the middle of that defense?
I think that we had a lot of 6-year seniors last year, and they will be replaced with juniors. So it's not starting over from scratch.
You
with,
don't
like,
think he's going to be
freshmen.
taking a complete step back?
No, it's a little step back, and I think those guys last year helped keep the defense pretty solid. But I think it's an improvement year after year so far under Sark. So
Okay.
has to be better this year.
So again, what happens if they go 7-5 this year?
Nothing.
Okay, you think there's
You
no
can't
change
fire
is going to the SEC?
You can't fire him.
Oklahoma and Texas they're in their senior year of high school. This is senioritis. We're just goofing around until we graduate. It doesn't even matter what happens this year. Like, same for y'all. Like, if you go
I
another
don't
losing
know.
season, he's not. You can't.
I don't
you
think
can have
Brent
a
will
brand new
stop.
coach entering a brand new conference, and that conference being the SEC.
I don't think Venables.
Neither
gets
coach
fired,
will be
but
fired.
I think that if he does not do well this year, you don't get 8 or 9 wins this year, that seat gets real warm for next year.
Yeah, they're always.
No,
warm at
I
Texas.
agree with what Kyle said, though. Brent Venables was hired because OU knew they were going to the SEC. He was hired to recruit that area. He was hired to be in the SEC, play good defense, run the football. That's what he was brought in to do. I agree with what you're saying about Sarkisian too, because 7-5 doesn't change anything for him. Does it make the alumni at Texas pissed off? Sure.
Yes.
But here's the thing: who are you going to get? Who are you
Right.
going to go get? If you fire Steve
Right.
Sarkisian, who do you go get?
And not even talk about like all the just recruiting wise, all the pieces he's put into play for Texas to be successful in the SEC. No one's going to rip the rug out from under him and have
But
Texas
it will-
start
I mean,
over.
no, the message boards will be going nuts. I mean, they just will. And I'll tell you
They
what,
always
I
do,
think
yeah.
losing Gary Patterson's going to hurt that defense. I really do.
But there's a rumor he's still considering it.
still
he might
coming
come back.
maybe.
Might come back.
So did he just take? I mean, I don't know. He just stepped back. He didn't actually go anywhere.
No, he didn't go anywhere. He got to sign like a 1-year contract to
Oh, okay.
be like a helper on defense, and he did a good job. And then he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to come back." But there's still rumors that he might come back. So
He's
we'll
a
see.
fantastic coach. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Well, I think the deal with Patterson is, so like you said, he was hired to be a defensive analyst, which in the college football game, I had a friend of mine that was one of those at LSU. They make nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. But Patterson was still getting paid by TCU, so the money didn't matter. But
Yeah.
Patterson is a head coach. Patterson is a alpha. Patterson is not going to sit back and see that defense give up 40 points and not have anything to say about it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
right.
he's not going to come back unless he's got some control.
Oh, while I have y'all, I finally
no.
found
Oh.
my favorite Aggie fact.
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay, here we go.
Favorite Aggie fact.
Texas A&M football has more yell leaders than they have national championships, Big 12 championships, and SEC championships combined. They have 5 yell leaders.
And
That is a
do we
good one.
know-
I love that one.
Do we know like what a yell? I mean, other than yelling, what's a yell leader's job? Are they are they in the cadet uniform?
No, they're
doing
in
their
that's not
hand
them.
stuff?
They're in the
milkman uniforms.
Yeah, they're in the milkman and the overalls, and they do the weird speeches at
The night
midnight
before.
yells.
Yeah.
My brother went to A&M. He tried to explain it to me, and I was like, he goes, they're like royalty. I'm like, no, they're not. He goes,
is
I
this-
think Reveille probably carries more weight than they do.
Is this the so Chad Benny? Is this the equivalent to the Roughnecks?
No.
No,
Roughnecks
Roughnecks
don't
are
take themselves very
Hellraisers.
seriously.
Yeah.
Roughnecks are fun.
Yeah.
They don't take themselves
They're
seriously.
fun in their overalls, just having good old boy time. Okay, fair enough.
You need to. So AJ, you need to listen to, and not to plug another podcast, but who cares? Are huge. Unnecessary Roughness, and listen to Casey and Brandon talk about the yell leaders. It's fantastic. Casey loves them.
Casey's
Brandon
an
hates
A&M
them.
grad.
No,
Yeah.
everyone at A&M thinks they're cool and like,
Yep.
oh, I want to be one when I grow up. And no, everywhere else, no way.
So A&M, and I've got my list here, and I'd be curious to see what your list looks like. Who are and you interact with these fools on Twitter more than anybody, any three of us probably combined. But
Yeah.
in my opinion, who are the most, in your opinion, who are the most obnoxious, just overrated fan bases in college football? I think A&M's got to be at the top of the list.
I was going to say, until last year, I really didn't like Sooners on Twitter because y'all kept beating us.
For good
and you-
reason,
and you-
yeah.
And you kept saying, oh, poor Sam Ellinger lost to four different Sooner
He
quarterbacks. So it used to be y'all, but I guess now A&M can have it. Y'all aren't so bad now that y'all are down at our level.
Yeah, we get down. We just become
1 year,
fun
bro.
at that point.
It's been 1 year.
We become fun. So
I've been waiting forever for last year. I was waiting forever. I was like, in 2020, I was like, okay, this is the year Oklahoma's going to suck. Nope. 2021, this is the year Oklahoma's going to suck. Nope.
So it was
So,
good for you. So was it as fun for you as it was terrible for us?
Oh, it was the best. I would see Blinken Riley every week on our podcast, and he would just be looking at the ground. Just
Do you guys still
quiet.
do the pod?
Yeah, we're gonna start it up again in a couple weeks for the
Okay,
season.
rock on. What night will it be on? What day? Do you guys do it live? Tell everybody where to
No.
listen and see it.
Live would be impossible. I don't know how y'all do it live.
Very carefully.
We're not very good. That's how.
That's
yeah.
probably true too. Yeah.
Yes,
We're deadbeat dads and husbands. Works out really well.
that's right. That's right.
So Eric jumped in the comments and said LSU. LSU is on my list too. I am, however.
Oh
so
yeah, LSU is not.
road
not
to the
best.
SEC. I am so jacked for road trips. I mean, I want to
Oh,
go on,
God, me
maybe
too.
one,
No,
maybe two road
yeah.
trips a year. I mean,
Any stadium is going to be fire.
oh,
They're
it's
gonna,
be blast, man.
yeah.
LSU night game, Baton Rouge. I mean, that is on the list for sure. But those fans
Yeah.
are idiots. I mean, those Cajuns are. You can't trust a Cajun. I mean, you really can't. You don't ever know what they're going to do.
So,
Cajuns are just purple Sooners, man. That's all they are.
I don't know, but you can understand us. You can't understand a whole lot of them.
Yeah, they get fired.
That
up,
is
man.
true. That is true.
They go and start talking like Ricky Bobby. What's up? I had a, so what is your what is your top 5 road? Like, are you going to go to road trips? Are you going to go try to watch Texas and the SEC?
I'm going to LSU because my brother, he lives in Baton Rouge right now, and I was gonna go when we were gonna play in 2020, but COVID canceled it, so I didn't get to go. But Death Valley for sure.
Yeah,
I think Gainesville would be fun.
love to go to the Swamp. Yep.
Mississippi State,
Well,
Ole
Cowbell?
Miss, basically any of the West teams is guaranteed great game.
I really
and-
want to
and-
go to Tennessee. I didn't get to go to Tennessee
Oh,
when you went the
Tennes-
last time.
Yeah.
That
Tennessee would
song
be fun,
Rocky
too.
Top, man, when it starts
Oh, yeah.
rattling up there, it's so cool. I want to go there. I want to check that out. I think that would be fun. And I like Brandon Walker, so I kind of want to see Mississippi State. I
Go
want to see the
I mean,
cowbells and
go to Georgia and see the Hedges. I mean, that's. I mean,
that'd
Yeah.
be cool. That'd be
it's
cool.
just there's just so many good venues, man.
Yeah,
It's just,
when you compare like the excitement from like all these SEC stadiums to like what we're leaving in the Big 12, you're like, oh yeah, Waco's got that. They've got that third McDonald's that they have there.
Yeah.
What else is going on in the bit? Like, what does Lubbock have? Like,
Yeah.
no one wants to go to Lubbock. No one wants to go to Waco.
Even the
It's a
people
lot
that
like
live in
Stillwater.
Lubbock
Great
wanna be in
tortillas, by the way. Awesome tortillas.
Yeah, there's all over the stadium. The seats, just pick them up and eat one.
That's right.
Don't ask
Everywhere.
how they got there. Just eat it.
Okay, Kyle, I know you said something about you got about 45 minutes. So we got about
Oh yeah. We should probably get to what y'all want to talk about.
yeah. So this is pretty much it,
Yeah,
right
this
here.
is pretty much this is what we do.
This is
That's
a
kind
much
of what we
of
do.
a
I
plan
told
as
you
we
we're a
got,
shit
Kyle.
show.
Nice.
So what is Texas? What is your expectation going into the SEC? You said this is our senior year. When real world happens next year, and it
Real
slaps
world's
us in the
next year.
face, what do you expect?
I just want to not get embarrassed. That's all.
Yeah.
You know.
Lofty goals there.
I would love it if Texas came in like A&M, which just no one knew what to expect, and they did a great first 2 years. I do not want to like come in and go like 1-7 in conference and get last place. Like, talk about a rough offseason on Twitter.
Which is what everyone thinks is going to happen with OU.
Well, yeah.
Texas. I mean, it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. All those SEC homers are like, oh, yeah, you're going to come here and you're going to find out what it's like to be Iowa State.
Yeah, but Missouri came, freaking Mizzou, and went to the SEC championship game 2 out of 3 years.
Yeah.
A&M almost went the first year. They went 11-1 or something.
Yeah.
Beat OU in the Cotton Bowl. Like, they had a great year. Like, I would love just a first year, a statement year would be great. And after that, we'll see what happens. But I just the first year, I want to not get embarrassed.
I think I got pretty much the same expectations for OU. I mean, I think, and we probably hold ourselves to a little higher standards than you guys do. But, I mean, not getting blown out is probably the worst end of the deal. But, I mean, realistically, you look at the Alabamas and the Georgias, even of the last several years, and the LSUs and the Auburns and their championships. But outside of that LSU team, you're not going to run the table in the SEC, period, the end. It's not going to happen. I mean, you're going to lose on the road to Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin on a night game, or you're going to go into Tennessee and Hendon Hooker's going to throw for, 450 and beat you. I mean, there's all these things that could potentially happen, but overall, it's still the best move for recruitment. It's still the best move for the universities. And we're only talking about football. I mean, you look at the softball aspect of it, you look at the basketball aspect of it. I mean, that's
softball and baseball phenomenal. Man.
Oh, it's going to be phenomenal.
Oh, baseball's going to be a lot of fun.
Sooners don't play any other sports besides football. Sooners only play football.
No wrestling.
I mean,
you have one sport, Cowboy. Calm down.
I mean, 99% of the OU fans I know only follow football. That's all you guys play, right?
It's changed a lot now. When we go 6-7 and our softball team wins the Natty, it changes. We're a softball school now, AJ.
Right.
We are a softball school.
Hey, don't sell gymnastics. Sure, y'all want a gymnastics natty?
We do win a lot of those.
Be proud of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You guys take pictures with them with your football recruits.
First of all, that's swimming trophies. Get it right.
So let me ask you about, we talked about realignment within the SEC, but the news coming out this week, Colorado coming back to the Big 12, USC, UCLA already bolted to go to the Big 10. Pac-12's dead, probably as we know it.
It's gone. Yeah.
Looks like the Big 10
as a Power 5. They've got teams lining up to come in, but as a Power 5, they're dead.
Well, and it looks like Clemson,
FSU,
Miami, FSU are probably going to go to the Big 10. Are we heading towards Big 10 Super Conference, SEC, and those two? We're just going to hash it out.
Yeah, we're going to mega conference. Grab onto or hold onto your butts and just see what happens, because SEC could add like Florida State and North Carolina. Who knows? It's once if Big 10 starts getting more people, SEC will start snatching up people too, and then it's just going to be an arms race. Who can get to a certain number first?
I said earlier, it's Big 10 and the SEC are going to be like the NFC and the AFC. I really think that we're headed to two super conferences. We're going to take, what's the playoff going up to? 12 teams. We're going to take 12. Yeah. We'll take 6 from each conference. We'll have, they're going to break it up. They're going to have conference champion, of the West. And those are going to get automatic bids. And then you're going to have 1 or 2 wild cards. And it's going to be essentially just like the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be sweet if there was each conference had 4 pods, and each pod, the winner of that pod went to the playoffs.
You get an automatic bid. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they would.
Which one of the things I really like with the SEC and both OU and Texas going there is that they did keep that game at the Cotton Bowl. It was a big deal for a while because of the TV revenue. They were having to balance that between CBS and ABC currently has the rights to that. And so, at one point the SEC was like, well, they're just going to have to go to a home and home, which would be phenomenal, by the way. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I'd love to see it once. Just go to Texas just once, one time. Come to Norman once, and then back to the Cotton Bowl. I think it would be just phenomenal.
So I'm a purist and not with a lot of things, but with this one I am. Until recently, it would not kill me if they moved it to Jerry World, by the way. A home and home would be awesome. But out of the state fair, man, man. Ben, we meet every year and have a beer, and it's misery, man. It's hot.
It's part nasty. Of it. It's misery.
You can't hardly get a beer. There's a line everywhere. There's 100,000 people there that don't care about the game, that just want to get in your damn way. Yep. Put it at Jerry World. Make it easy. Put all of us crazies in the same area that are just there for that, and let us have fun. I don't want to deal with the 13 kids in line for a Fletcher's corn dog. Just let me get in here with some Texas fans.
You're 13 kids or somebody else with 13 kids?
I don't take my 13 kids, AJ. I'm a responsible parent. I only take one. But anyway, okay. So Kyle, before we let you go, we're at 45 minutes right now. What is meat? Because I see that on your I see that on your thing, so I want to hear what this is.
Yeah. Meat. Yeah, I forgot to promo this. Meat is Winsipedia on steroids. So if you go to meat right now, I can pull up Texas against Oklahoma, and it has their all-time stats. Just like Winsipedia. It compares wins, bowl wins, draft picks, weeks ranked, all that nonsense. But meat, it stands for Measuring Enhanced Analytics Timeline. You can change the date frame to whatever you want. So say you want to know Texas against Oklahoma from like 2000 to present. You just toggle it to the date range you want, and then all the numbers update to just those date ranges.
Really? So, yeah. So is that where you get the majority of your content? I mean, are you a writer for this content? How'd you come upon this?
No, I just made it because I had so much data that I gathered. I have every football game that's ever been played at my disposal.
Yeah, this is created by Kyle.
And so I put it into this like easy to use system.
You are speaking to my nerd soul right now. So,
dude, AJ, are you on it? This thing's awesome.
Oh, this is the first I've heard of it, but like I'm immediately like a power subscriber. So, is this only college, or do you have college and
it's
NFL?
All college, just football. That is because football. I tried doing like basketball, but I can't find half the things there. Yeah. Football, I have everything. I can find anything in football. And also, so say you toggle it to 2000 to present. Not only does it change the two teams you're comparing, but at the very bottom, it ranks all teams on all categories by those same date ranges. So
okay, I was about to ask you.
So if I want to know who has beaten the most top 25 teams from 2010 to present, I changed it to 2000 present. Come down to the bottom.
Alabama.
They have 67 top 25 wins since 2010. 67. Next behind them is LSU with 46, then Oklahoma with 42.
Where's Texas at on that list?
I don't know.
By the way, so I just changed it to 2000 to 2023, and OU's top total wins 245. You might have just said that. I was over here toggling with.
No, I didn't say that, but yeah, and they're and if you go to like their golden years, what are your golden years? The 70s, 50s, 60s, 80s, what are all those?
Every time but the 90s.
Yeah. If you go like 40s to 90 or 40s to like 89, OU would most likely be at the top of every single category.
They would be. I mean, those 50s teams, and then like you said, the late 70s, early 80s, cool. 85 team. Yeah, they're So if you ever want to just go down memory lane, you can do any decade you want and just scroll down to the bottom and see, oh, in the 30s, these teams were these teams were at the top of the rankings in all these different categories. So how long did it take you to put all this together? Because this is years
of work, right? Long time.
Yeah.
How are you not like subscription based on this thing?
I'm trying to get people to use it first. No one knows about it. I can't get
this is legit.
I can't get people to use it.
Okay.
I cannot wait to weaponize this and use it against my Gooner friends. I can't wait.
It's hard. He just said we lead in everything.
Yeah.
But wait, by 8 a.m. tomorrow, I'm going to show you how much you suck. Trust me. I will find something.
Sure,
It'll be
do
how
it.
bad you are.
Do it.
Give
Become
us
best friends.
Give us the website again. Tell the people
Okay,
listening how to get there.
So it's a free public domain of where you can share your Tableau stuff. So it's not an actual I had to make a Bitly link for it to
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
be something that I could tell people. So
Sure.
let me tell you exactly what it is.
Okay.
Hold on, I think I got it.
Oh, it's on my. If you go to my Twitter profile, it's the URL I have attached to my.
Okay, perfect. We'll get that.
It's-
Yeah,
okay.
Chad, get that.
Yeah, we'll get that.
Bitly,
We'll put it on the.
Bitly.com/themeet.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and MEAT has to be capitalized, otherwise it'll go to some other one.
Gotcha.
Some
We'll
other.
put that on our Twitter and our Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
On
go
YouTube.
follow Kyle, and you can see it on there. You can see his 2 podcasts that he's got coming. What's the Lone Star Show pod? We didn't talk about that one any.
Oh, yeah.
Before we let you go.
That's a new one I'm doing with my friend who's an Aggie, and we just basically just talk about Texas and A&M every week.
Awesome.
Okay.
You know.
So now we got to get Blinken on here so we can talk shit about Kyle behind his back and talk about how
That's
terrible
right.
Texas
Hey,
is.
he does it. He does it in front of my face, so it doesn't matter.
That's
I
funny.
think we need to have Blinken and Kyle on the same.
Oh,
show.
for OU weekend, you should.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
in.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. We will
Yeah,
set
let's
that
book
up.
it. Get it
We
Set
get
it up.
over here.
Set her up.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Any last questions for Kyle before we let him
No.
go? Because I know he had a lot going on.
No questions, just a statement. Kyle, I will DM you your invite to the listener league for the fantasy.
Sweet.
football.
And I will DM you my meat.
Ooh,
God,
yes,
I like
sir.
the sound of that.
Yes, sir.
This is my
That's what I'm
favorite
talking
part of the
about.
podcast
Okay.
right here.
We call that fringe benefits.
That better not be like a snippet promo for this episode.
100%.
Oh, it's going on TikTok tomorrow too.
Kyle got canceled on Twitter. He's DMing AJ's meat. Oh,
Well,
from
thanks for
Yeah,
having
Kyle,
me,
man,
guys.
this
It
was
was a
fun, man.
blast.
We're definitely
Yeah.
gonna do it again.
Yeah, anytime,
next
man.
Weekend be a blast.
sure.
Appreciate you coming on.
thanks,
Good
man.
stuff that you guys, content you put out. Love it. Shout you out. You guys give Kyle a follow and look for those Thursday facts.
Yep. Thanks for having me, guys.
See
All
you,
right,
man.
man.
Kyle.
Okay,
Appreciate
see
it, brother.
By the way, what a great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, just great guy.
So Chatty, make that Blinken, Riley, and Kyle mashup. Make that happen for OU.
yeah, I will.
I've
DM
met
Kyle.
him. I've met him a few times at some OU games. He's a great guy. I mean, yeah, he'll come on, especially if Kyle comes on. He'll come on. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
Let's
make that happen. Blinken, if you're out there listening,
I think
somewhere.
he's just blinking now. He dropped the
Oh, okay.
Riley when Tebow left. I think it's just blinking.
Didn't he try to change it? I think we got to get him on here, but I think
He
he
did.
actually tried to change it. And
Yeah,
then
he
decided to
tweeted
go
about
back.
that. He tried to tweet it, tried to change it, and there's something that was hanging up, and he was going to lose a bunch of stuff that couldn't recover some tweets, and so he's like, "I'll just leave it."
By the way, did you guys like the new backdrop when us 3 are on here? You can see the logo really well.
I do
dig
like it.
Yeah, looking
Do
good,
like
man.
it.
We got some t-shirts coming, some swag coming, so it'll be some
quickly.
good stuff.
Pretty
Yeah.
quickly, hopefully.
So we've got a little bit of time here.
Yeah.
So next week, right? We talked about it. We are now weekly, which I love. Sports Dead Zone is done. We're going to focus a shit ton on football content, which I love. Once we start getting into the season, what's the show going to look like, fellas? Do we have any idea?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Hopefully we'll
I
have some
think so. I
guests
think we got a rundown. I mean, we're going to definitely have some guests on. We've got, like I mentioned it a little bit earlier, I'm going to start doing a segment called Benny Bets. We're going to put some picks out there, keep track of it throughout the year, hopefully make some money gambling a little bit. AJ's got some stuff he's doing. He's had this uniform vibe check. AJ, tell him about the uniform vibe
So
check.
dumb.
So
No,
so
this is brilliant.
I'm a big uniform guy. So this is like our group chat come to life. So I love sports uniforms. I love critiquing sports uniforms. And so any given week, at some point during the weekend, Benny and Chad and the guys are going to see some messages from me about uniform vibe check, right? So I'm talking about how terrible, let's see, what's a good one? How terrible
Florida
Iowa
one today.
The Florida one today.
the
We talked about
Florida one
that.
today, right? Well, how terrible Iowa State looks in all black, or the abomination that came out this morning with Florida. Florida.
He gets so fired up. He gets
Florida
so fired up.
with their alligator print tops and their
What
black
color? What color are
helmets
those?
It's alligator. It's alligator print. Their
Terrible.
colors are orange and blue. Okay, two very classic. Like so, their standard home kit is top 10. Right, it just looks great. Looks great on TV. Love it. Their Twitter this morning. Alligator print, matte black helmet, and a ghost black gator on it. It could not have been any more god awful.
I wanted to cancel them immediately because they did blackface on the gator. That's not cool.
Yeah,
We don't
they
do that anymore.
blackface the gator.
We don't
We'd
do
be
that.
canceled.
Listen, if they would have done the black helmet with a normal gator, I think it would have looked cool. I didn't really catch the blackface gator.
Is black one of their colors? Is black one of their colors?
I don't care. White's
yes
not
or no?
one of their colors.
Yes or no?
White's
yes
not
or
one
no?
of their
Yes or
colors
no?
either. White's not one of their colors either.
Is black one of their colors?
Is white one of their colors?
Yes.
No,
white is a standard football color.
Black's just a standard color.
He gets. I mean, I can't wait for this. This is going to be great.
So
this is going down every week, and because
Every
we have
week
all the
we'll have a
throwbacks coming
uniform
in.
vibe check.
And
You
we'll have
got
the
a- you got a
pictures up while
rating
we're talking
scale.
about it.
I mean, so we're going to do.
what?
Yeah, we'll put
Yeah,
the pictures up.
we're
In
gonna have a
uniforms. We're
rating
going to have a
scale.
rating scale.
I mean, you either pass the vibe check or you don't, and you get a rating, right?
And we'll talk about how stupid that is. And that's my segment, is the bad decisions that Tony makes about his dumbass vibe check. So dumb.
So we got that. We got those. Those are going to be weekly bits that we're going to be doing, and then obviously recapping, the college and NFL
all the
games
games we got going
from the
on.
weekends before, and then also previewing some bigger games coming up in the following weeks, and then also fantasy football. That's a big part of what we do. As far as what even brought us together was fantasy football group, and so talk a ton of fantasy football. We'll recap our listener league. I mean, it's going to be a blast. If you like football, if you like gambling, if you like uniforms, I guess you can join in. So,
and if you want to play fantasy football with us, DM us. Let us know.
Hold on, you got to give it a 5-star review. Your application is a 5-star review on wherever you listen, preferably Apple because it's their algorithm thing. If it's not Apple, that's
5-star review somewhere and tell us why you should be in the league. Don't tell us you're the best. Like, tell us why you
won my league 3 out of 4 years, man.
Right.
No, don't give us that. Dude
calm
wrote
down,
a
Bobby.
poem. Another dude built a
dude
cartoon.
wrote a poem.
Yeah,
Wrote a poem.
he had little marionettes doing
guys- you
dances.
guys
about
created
it.
a whole daggum database to be on the show. I mean, that's application.
Why you should be in the league.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing too. You go and beat Kyle. You look at the week you play Kyle, then you get on Twitter and you rip him, and then all the Aggies are going to jump on and start ripping him some more. So I mean, it's going to be
It's going to be a great time.
stuff.
him.
It's going to be a great time.
So
It's going to be fun. And so the next couple of weeks, we'll put out a graphic here. So I made a bunch of really cool graphics for our AFC picks, and I don't think we tweeted them out, did we? Did we not do that, Mr. in charge of socials? So I'll make up another graphic in the next couple of days that has our list of what we're going to talk about every week. So we've got NFC next week, right? We're going to break down the NFC a lot like we did the AFC. And then we've got to talk about ACC, Big 12, SEC, Big 10, Pac 12. What we think is going to happen. We can combine a bunch of that because we're going to run out of time here pretty quick. So,
and so, Chad, I also heard rumor that we may be at a Cowboys game. We may be doing doing a live remote at a Cowboys. We're hoping at a game.
We're hoping maybe to do we talked about the August 12th game, but one of us is going to be out of town. So maybe,
and we got a stupid draft that day too.
I know we might live stream that draft. If you care about fantasy football and want to see how bad we are, we might live stream that for a little bit. Maybe the August 26th game against the Raiders, we may do a pre game show live from Dallas, either at AT&T Stadium or the Star, one of the two. We're still working on the details, so hopefully that'll work out.
Love it.
That'll be a pretty cool event. I've got 3 of my 4 kids' birthdays are that weekend, so it just depends on where the birthday party falls and how that works. But I think we can probably make it work.
I'll tell you where it falls. It falls at the Star. That's where it falls.
Yeah.
That's where it falls. That's right. My kids will love it. So.
They'll never remember the birthday that Dad wasn't there.
Yes, they will.
They'll never remember.
Elizabeth still remembers the one that I had to be out of town.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right. Anything else closing up, guys? Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on YouTube.
Booze and Balls.
Share, give us a review. I mean, I hate when my kids watch those stupid YouTube videos and those guys say that, like and share. But I mean, really and truly, it does help us out.
But actually, like and share.
Yeah, it really does. And thank you for all the comments today. What people don't know on the YouTube algorithm thing, as I've learned, is more comments means the video gets pushed towards the top, so more people can see it. So I appreciate all the comments. Thank you for all that. Anything else we got tonight before we get out of here?
Man, last thing for me, R.I.P. Pee Wee Herman. I mean,
That's a bad deal. It ended up being cancer too.
Cancer. They said he'd been battling for a long time. I mean,
It was the
take
cancer,
away his
huh?
pedophilish years. He's a pedophile there for a while. He
Whoa.
exposed himself, did some
He
things.
never was.
He was never a pedophile.
He was.
He got caught in the theater, diddling his doodad.
AJ, but he
Exposing
also
himself in front of children.
He was
That's
just watching
that's
the
the pure
porns.
definition of a pedophile.
No, he wasn't watching. He was watching porn in like a movie theater, diddling himself.
Okay, that's even worse. I'm still going to call him a pedophile. I think he's a pedophile.
well, it's over now, so it doesn't matter.
That's right.
I'm gonna go
But
watch.
no, I mean,
this
R.I.P. to him. I mean, comedic genius. I mean, if you look at back some of the stuff he was doing in the late 80s, early 90s, I mean, he did.
For sure.
He was a pioneer. I mean, he did a lot of cool stuff comedian-wise. Oh, my God, don't ever do that again.
That's one of my favorite days.
I remember. You remember he had that talking
Large
toilet?
Marge.
You remember that?
Yeah.
What was the talking toilet's name?
I
I don't remember. Anyway, you had the talking toilet, the talking chair.
I think so. So in respect to Pee Wee's memory, rest in peace, Pee Wee. It's a little bit of a stretch to call him a pioneer of anything. Just saying.
I mean, Pee Wee's Playhouse.
I watched every episode of that.
Who else
Did
besides
you?
E.T.
Okay.
could ride a magical bicycle in the air?
Okay,
That's pioneer.
it's a great question. I can't answer that.
That's a pioneer.
That's a pioneer.
That's a pioneer.
Oh, riding a bicycle. I'll see you beautiful buttholes later.
All right, fellas. Good show.
Bye, fellas. See you in the group chat.
Next week.